is that?
Week 9. How did it get to be week 9? It's actually, we're going into week 10.
Because the NFL season is like fast-moving roller coaster. It just keeps going really quick.
I know.
Oh, you're in the playoffs, and it's like, oh my gosh.
The good part about that is it's taking 2020 with it.
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah, now thinking about the playoffs, it'll be past 2020. 2020 will be in the rearview mirror.
Yeah. So, and according to Dr. Fauci, he could change his opinion 48 hours from now again.
Yeah.
But he said now that COVID's not long for this world.
Yeah.
We'll see. Next week he'll say it's going to be with us till 2050.
Oh man.
I know. But thank God we have some good football. Knock on wood, it stays on schedule, and
yeah, exactly.
It can help us through these short, dark days of winter, and until we can get back outside and enjoy life like we used to again.
I mean, the season's going so well. There's some really spectacular games, and I just hope something like this doesn't stop it.
I'm with you. I'm really enjoying the season.
Me too.
Despite the fact that there's been a lot of good players who opted out this year.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we've had schedule shuffles because of people testing positive for COVID. It's tough to play fantasy football this year because.
Oh, I know.
It's a day-to-day thing. So, but I kind of like the extra challenge. It's kind of fun. So, anyway, you beat me again. Let's dive right in. I guess we'll go right to the.
Not by much.
No, and you know what? I forgot to flop the graphic. I left it broken. It was the other way around. It was New York Giants at Washington football.
It was in Washington, yeah.
I took the home team and shit the bed.
It was a really close game. It didn't seem
I didn't
like
watch it second of it.
Well, it didn't seem like it was going to be a close game. I was interested in the Ravens Titans game, and I wasn't really paying attention to this. And then all of a sudden, I look at it's halftime, and I was like, "Oh, the Giants are up 20-3. Oh, I got this one in the bag." and later on, as you get into the fourth quarter, I looked again. It was 23-20. I'm like, "Holy cow! How did this game get so exciting?" And I turned right into it.
Wow!
So I only actually saw live maybe the last 5 minutes or half of the fourth quarter.
Well, but, I picked up the Giants defense for my fantasy team this week.
Oh, that's
good. Paid
Oh.
huge dividends. Yeah,
that's good.
But now I'm 5 games behind you, and I'm never going to catch you now.
Oh, it's still a long season. We'll extend it into the playoffs too. So,
well, I think we should start at 0-0 for the playoffs.
All right.
At least have a fighting chance.
We could actually start at 0-0 now. But no, really. Yeah.
No.
Second half, I guess.
Fair is fair. We could do it if we were calling it from the beginning, but we didn't start Geek Time until 4 weeks ago. So
I know.
All right, so you win that game. Is there anything you wanted to point out, or?
I mean, as I said, it was kind of like a tale of two games where the Giants were up big, and it turned when their previously current starting quarterback got injured. It was a leg injury, which ironically the guy that came in for him was the last guy that went out with a leg injury, Alex Smith.
That's right.
Continuing his great comeback. It's still unbelievable that he's playing now after that injury. And then Allen wasn't doing anything for the Washington offense. And Alex Smith came in. I think he threw for over 300 yards and like two touchdowns. And then he didn't run out of gas, but they were running out of time, and he was taking much more chances and wound up throwing like 2 picks, and the Giants defense sealed the game.
Yeah, I think they had 5 turnovers, Washington.
Oh, right. So that was an unusual. You can throw that into the unusual stat. It was a 5 turnovers, and the Giants had none, which is surprising, and they still only barely beat them 3 points. So that's
wow.
Yep. It points more to how good Alex Smith did. It was actually quite a revelation that he was playing that well.
I still think he's going to retire at the end of the year. I think he just wanted to know that he could do it.
And yeah, he's proven that he could. And he's already named the quarterback for this coming week. So
when we do our pick show, that'll be interesting. I don't know if I try picking them again though.
Well, yeah, as a starter from the beginning, you don't know how that's going to go. Sometimes it's, those guys coming in the middle of the game, they do really well, but then, playing the whole game when the opposing defensive coordinator, comes up with a plan for them, you don't know.
Right. All right. Our next 1:00 game, we have the Chicago Bears against the Tennessee Tuxedos. We both won this game because the rest of the way we took the same.
Yeah.
Pick. We had the most vanilla pick show of all time.
Yep.
Where we just both took the same teams.
It was almost a clean sweep of that.
Yeah. I did see Matt Nagy's going to stop calling the plays for the Bears. He's finally turning it over. So hooray for him. Because they're not good.
I hope that makes a difference because that offense is hard to watch.
Well, they don't have a quarterback. Let's face it. Mitch Trubisky can run and can't throw, and Nick Foles can't do either. So they got a problem, and they can't run the ball at all with what's his name?
No. Yeah, I don't even remember, but you're right. No running game.
Nothing.
And this was
Island.
All right, yeah, and this was kind of what really reveals how bad they are is that it was against the Titans defense who can't get off the field. Was probably, I think, dead last on third down, allowing third downs converted.
Yeah,
and they did very well against the Bears.
We're gonna have plenty to say about that Tennessee defense.
Yes, right.
On next week's wrap-up show after what I saw last night.
I know, and that tells you more. It's more about how the Bears' offense is not doing well. Just as an aside, you ever heard? I mean, you've heard of offenses going on 3 and outs, which is not a good thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, the Bears did a 6 and out, what I like to call a 6 and out, where they went 3 and out, converted a fake punt, made the first down on the 4th down, and then followed up with another 3 and out.
Yeah, so, it's becoming apparent that if Derrick Henry doesn't go anywhere, neither do they. So this one we both had, Detroit at Minnesota. Now, I think, if memory serves, I think I said something like Minnesota looks like the team that's going to catch fire now and make a run. They seem like they've got everything working for them, and it looks like exactly that. Delvin Cook had another huge game.
Yep.
So, I think the Vikings are on their way, and Detroit is still Detroit. And they got one more week before their Thanksgiving game where they're going to completely shit the bed and tank the rest of the year.
And the Vikings, as long as they have Cook there, he kind of I don't know if hides is the right word, hides the Cousins' weaknesses. If he's in there, you're not asking Cousins to, carry them, and that's a good thing because
21 passes.
Yep.
I have Adam Thielen. That was not good for me.
Oh, I know. And Cook, what did I hear? Cook, he rushed for over 200 yards
again,
and 166 of them were after contact.
Wow. Yeah, he's a truck. he's fun to watch, and if he stays healthy, man, watch out. The Vikings, if they can get in the playoffs, they might be a tough out.
They sneak in there. No one's going to want to play them.
Well, no one thought they were going to be this bad,
right.
know? And everybody had them as maybe winning the division and then, or at least challenging Green Bay. And they just got off that awful start. This game shocked me.
Yep.
This game was close, and Carolina almost pulled it off. So good on them, and they lost McCaffrey in the process.
Yeah, that's the bad part. It shocked me a little. It didn't shock me as much because I think we talked about this in the pick show that we said because they got McCaffrey back, he can keep it somewhat close because the Kansas City defense is bad against the run, and if he can keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands as much as possible, they could keep this close, and it did work out that way.
Yeah,
they almost won actually.
Yep. Yeah, good game. Teddy Bridgewater's having a great year. I'm happy for Teddy because he's had a long history of injury problems too. So
yeah, and watching him play, you can't even tell that he's had such significant injuries.
No,
He's
I know.
playing regular with abandon and making all the plays.
Yeah, yeah. So this game was, we thought it was an easy call. It was almost a lock of the week. It looked like, Chiefs at home, Carolina, but boy, what a game. This one, the loser bowl.
That's the opposite.
Yeah. Jacksonville is who we thought they were. And,
Yep.
Houston's who we thought they were too. Slightly better than average, but.
Yeah, the Houston defense this year is having the innate ability to always keep the opposing team in a game.
Yeah.
And look, the rookie almost, came back and came within like 2 points. And if they had converted the 2-point conversion, they would have tied it.
Right.
Jeez.
Right. Yeah. This is I think it's time for Houston to clean house.
Yep.
I don't know why they gave Watson that big contract, because they're gonna have to start a rebuild around him in that big, huge contract they gave him, and I don't even know why he wanted to stay there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I think he's still young enough to do it, but it depends on how long the rebuild is, I guess.
Right. So a pair of 5-2 teams went at it. This was a good game.
That was a good game. Yeah.
The game turned. I watched a lot of it, and
Me too.
That incomplete pass that they ended up calling a interception and fumble.
Yep.
Turned the whole momentum of the game, and that was an incomplete pass. I'm sorry. He made a football move.
I don't care how many replays you give me. How do you call that a catch? Yeah, basically their explanation was he caught it and he made a football move before his feet even hit the ground, like in midair. That's a football move.
Was it Humphrey? Who was it that caught that?
Oh no, I gotta look.
Maybe I don't remember, but yeah,
I should know though.
I mean, it looked, even the announcers, it looked too obvious to everybody that it was incomplete.
Yep.
And they go to the commercial and they come back, or they go to the 30-second timeout where they do the picture-in-picture, and the referee comes back and yeah.
Give Harbaugh credit for challenging that.
For challenging, sure.
Yeah, but because of the result of what you said, it turned the game.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where, every once in a while, the difference between a great coach or a good coach and a bad coach in the NFL is that your coach can win you a game or two here and there on stuff like that. And that's exactly what happened. A lesser coach lets it go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That doesn't look into it.
But a guy like Harbaugh is looking for every little advantage he can get. And I thought, I was laughing when he threw the flag. I'm like, well, there goes a timeout for them.
and it was, he might have been just looking for something to do exactly spark, because what do they got? Like 55 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
Their offense was like,
and
not
Jackson
getting anywhere.
He did against Pittsburgh. When you make Jackson throw the ball, it's problematic. And I think the league's caught up to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, they found a way to win. They're definitely the better team of the two. But for a while there, they were on their heels, and it looked good for the Colts, and I was shocked. But it was that play that turned the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts defense is sneaky good. I hadn't really watched a lot of them, and I've now have watched, especially this last
2 weeks in a row. Yeah,
and they're really good.
Yeah. They cause a lot of turnovers.
Yep.
They're fast and they get to the ball. Boy.
Oh, and
now we both called the Bills a fraud last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because they have what are they like up in first 4 games they look really good. Then the next 4 games they look really good at all. It's like so this starts the next quarter where they really good. I don't know.
It was that thing where I had that slight suspicion that they might have hit that slump, because every team hits a slump, and I had a feeling that those 3 games they might have kind of now they're going to bust out of it again. And I thought when they bust out of it, they're probably going to look like they did at the beginning of the year, and that's exactly what happened. So
it's a good thing if their low part of the year happened this early. That's really good for them.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to start putting up 35 points a game again, routinely. But boy, they just manhandled Seattle. And when I saw that going down, I thought to myself, I fell for the Seahawks are better, Bills are deceptively bad.
Me too.
But I should have thought about it and said the Seahawks are playing a 10 a.m. game in Orchard Park.
Yeah. Okay.
I should have thought about that, but I was too wrapped up in the idea that the Bills were a fraud.
That's what the NFL does that to you. It lures you in. And I did think of something you mentioned about you were saying something about Pete Carroll. I think this was during our grades. Pete Carroll sometimes outthinks himself.
Yeah.
And he's a defensive guy, and they came in with a defensive plan to handle the Bills' running game. Why? The Bills don't have a running game. There is all Allen and the receivers.
Right.
And then on top of that, they went and blitzed the heck out of them, which in a way it worked. They got 7 sacks out of it, but when they didn't get there, it was an open field. They couldn't cover anybody.
Right.
So I think he kind of it was a bad approach, I think.
Terrible approach. I mean, they're using Zach Moss now as their primary back.
Yeah.
But even with Zach Moss, he's got 15 carries for 60 yards or something. It's not like they're game and planning for Derrick Henry or Delvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott or somebody like that. So I'm with you. That was just Pete Carroll himself. Again.
And you can't. And the Seahawks kind of have a thin margin when Russell Wilson doesn't have his A game, which he obviously didn't with the 4 turnovers.
Right. Yeah. Shocking. So the last 1:00 game was Denver at Atlanta. Atlanta is now 3-3 under Raheem Morris.
Yep.
He's completely righted the ship. And they also are a team now that doesn't seem to give up the lead when they have it.
Yep.
Like they were doing under Dan Quinn.
So they seem to fix that problem.
I'm wondering if Morris gets a shot at keeping the job next year because and we'll see what happens in the second half.
Right.
They're 3-6 now. So they got 7 games to go. You never know. He gets them somewhere around 500. He's probably got the job. He got spotted an 0-6 hole.
Yep.
He inherited a pretty bad team. So
I hope he at least gets a chance to, even if they go on a wide search, at least he gets a chance to consider him.
Yeah.
For it.
But I thought he was a good coach in Tampa, and he had the problem with there was just no talent there.
Right.
He had a couple seasons there, but when you don't produce results, no matter what your roster is, no matter what you're given, you're still supposed to produce. And it's a bottom line business, and it's a business. So it's a shame, but I've always liked him as a coach, and I hope he gets to stay in Atlanta.
And the Broncos are exactly what their record says, just kind of a less than mediocre team.
Yeah. They're young and aggressive, but also mistake prone, and they're going to be up and down week to week, depending on.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So the 4:00ers, we had the Raiders against the Lightning Bolts.
Yeah, this was a really good game.
Yeah, I know, and again, I thought of you immediately. I was watching the end of this game at Doug's house, and we were like, "You got to be kidding me with this!" Do
you believe that ending of this one?
No. And once again, I was thinking of you because Herbert's got to be perfect. You keep saying, and again,
that's not fair, though.
That was not fair.
I mean, it's not fair to have that. The only way they win is if he's perfect. I mean, it's a team sport. You gotta show up on special teams. I think they fumbled away a touchdown, and their defense just can't hold any lead.
Their defense can't keep people under 30.
Yeah,
they can't. They're every week they're in a 30-something to 30-something shootout. I think Anthony Lynn's days are numbered there. I think he's a dead man walking.
I mean, he seems like a guy that you want to root for, but
yes, I like him as a coach.
This type of characteristic from a team that keeps losing these type of games is reflective on mostly coaching, I believe.
Well, when you have,
I think you're right.
When you have a unit like their defense that can't stop anybody, when one half of your team is that bad, you're gonna pay the price for that. And it's a shame. It's hard to believe that 2 years ago they were 14-2.
I know.
I don't know what happened.
They can be so again if they can just fix a little bit of it, because they know they have that quarterback. Hopefully, is
Their
here
offense is phenomenal.
Yeah,
As good as their offense is, their defense is equal. It's the opposite.
Equally as bad,
Yeah,
and the special teams doesn't help either.
No, and you got to have all three phases clicking if you want to win in this league.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this one first. The next two games were shocking. These 4 o'clockers. I'll go with this one first. This played out like I thought it would.
Okay. And I remember you said like 3 weeks ago that this would be the third straight away, and even though it's the Cowboys who are kind of pathetic, that this type of thing might happen.
It was a trap, and every year there's a Tomlin special, and I thought for 3 quarters I thought this was the Tomlin special. I thought there was no way they were going to win. It's at one point, and then Ben got hurt, and he's playing on the bad knee, and it looked pretty bad. But luckily, Ben and Juju took the game over in the fourth quarter, and they found a way to get out of there intact and 8-0. But this surprisingly played out much like I thought it would. That guy Gilbert played really well.
Yeah, I mean,
he was poised. He was not afraid.
That was the difference between him and the Nucci, and even when Dalton was going in, he kind of seemed very timid. So this guy just like, oh, no big deal.
Right,
I'm just gonna do it. And sometimes it caused him, had an aggression which caused problems like the interception, but that's okay. I mean, you're just going out there and you're going to try your best and not play it to not lose. You want to play it to win. So
right. And for the second week in a row, it comes down to a play in the end zone that Minkah Fitzpatrick has to break up.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
I'll give the Cowboys fans a little bit of a like this is twice in a row. Their defense looks like it might be shaping up to what it's supposed to be. That's 2 weeks in a row that they've shown up. And if that's true, then obviously it's way too late for this.
Their offensive line played better too.
Oh, yes, that's true too. Yeah, they were able to protect them a little bit.
And for me, the critical thing, the reason it came down to that last play is because Mike Tomlin didn't take the points. The Steelers had a 4th and 1 well within field goal range. And instead of kicking to go up by 8, which would force the Cowboys to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just as high, he opted to go for it. It was a terrible play call. They went backwards. They give the ball back to Dallas. Dallas goes down the field, and I don't have any nails again. Every week. It's rough being a Steelers fan, I'll tell you.
Yeah, the only undefeated team. Yeah, in a way, it actually, because every game is like can be one of these nail biters if it's a close game. But this, I love this
might have been the shock of the week,
obviously.
How about Tua, and I cannot, Tagovailoa? I can't say his name.
One of these, by the end of the season, I'll be able to. Fluent.
Wow, man! You know what? The week before, you're like, well, he threw for 90-something yards. The defense and the special teams carried him.
I was worried.
He goes into Arizona. We both gave them no shot. I mean, the Cardinals home, right? The Cardinals look great this year.
Yeah, they are.
Boom. They get in a shootout with Kyler Murray and company and come out on top.
Yeah, I was really shocked they stayed up.
Bravo.
He also was running. He had like a 17-yard run at one point. So that's good. You saw the legs in action.
Was okay. Yep.
It looks like, and some really accurate passing under pressure. I can't believe they stayed with them because Arizona played great. I mean, their offense, anyways.
And it was like a heavyweight fight. It was like boom, but like one team would score, and then the other team answered. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was shocked. There were a few times where the Cardinals went out ahead, and I'm like, all right, they're gonna.
That's when I was even that last time when they were up like 31-24, and I'm like, okay, it was a good show, but they pulled away.
Right.
But oh my gosh, that next drive where he comes back to tie it,
comes right back,
and then they stop him again. Jeez.
Yeah. No, good on them. I'm happy for them, and he's a great. He seems like a great kid. I'm Just a nice kid, and he gave the game ball to Coach Flores, and he said, they took a chance on me, so I want to honor them. So good for them.
Boy, I
Awesome.
hope he stays for at least 10 years. Both of them, both him and the Flores. I love them both for this team.
Well, like I said to you earlier this year, that I waited 20 years between Bradshaw and Roethlisberger, and you're on the 20th year between Marino and
that's true.
Whoever. So this could be it. This could be it. Talk about shockers.
Okay. that one even tops that shocker.
The best game ever. This was, I want this game on Blu-ray. I'll watch it on a constant loop for a week. Watching Tom Brady get his ass handed to him. He looked like a rookie. He was throwing it up for grabs.
Yep.
Holy cow. I've never seen him look so bad.
Almost like he was wishing, okay, let me wake up now. Like, he just wanted to wake up from the
and Brown made a few plays, but I gotta wonder.
Hey,
are they happy he's there? I don't know.
Is it a coincidence that they're worst?
He shows up and they go completely limp. Yeah.
We talked about that possibility, how that could break up the chemistry that the team had.
Right. They were on fire. People were calling them the best team in the NFC. People had them projected for a long playoff run, maybe Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely Super Bowl. Yes.
And here comes AB, and here they come now. This is a revenge game at home against the Saints, who schooled them week 1.
Yep.
And I remember last week we said, remember week 1 where it was like the Buccaneers were looking at the Saints and like seeing like, okay, that's what it takes to be next level. And we thought going into last Sunday's game that it was the Saints looking at Tampa Bay saying, okay, that's what it takes to be next level. Drew Brees looked like old Drew Brees. They looked awesome. Taysom Hill just killed him on those gadgets.
They did
tackle him.
They finally did get Michael Thomas back, so makes a big difference too.
Yeah, yes, they did, and it hurt Tampa Bay that Vita Vea was out in the middle there. But it's not like the Saints Brown game chewed him up either, though. So, it was just so much fun watching Tom Brady. I mean, a couple of those, he just threw it up.
Yeah,
like he's so much smarter than that. I could not believe 3 times he just threw it up for grabs. He's like, just chucked it up in the air.
There was a nice shot there's one shot that told the game story where it was a Tom Brady sitting in the bench.
Yes.
After they were down 20, and he kind of looked around like in wonder, like, what am I supposed to do? He had no idea what was going on, what to do, anything.
They were down 31-0 at halftime. I'm sad they scored it all. I wanted to shut out. It was so good. It was so good. I was laughing. Usually in a blowout like that, it's 31-0 at halftime. You turn the channel. Oh, right. No. It was still must-see TV.
It kept going.
Al Michaels, who, by the way, Al Michaels is a national treasure. Let's face it. I love Al Michaels. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth were kind of like begging people not to, how they do that.
Yep.
Oh, well, you never know. Tom Brady, they could come back. They got a potent offense, all the great receivers. Don't worry. Nobody's shutting this off, dude. We've been waiting 20 years to watch Tom Brady look inept.
I remember him saying, remember the Super Bowl when they came back against the they're so desperate to bring up all those things. It's like,
I remember when it was 28-0, did they miss a field goal? They did, right?
I think
there was a comment Al Michaels made where he's like, if they can get this to 28-3, they'll be in business.
Wow, how desperate. And now it looks like, the Saints have the tiebreaker, obviously. They have a pretty easy schedule. Unless they shoot themselves in the foot, I think they have the division. And Tampa Bay is going to have to take the long road in the playoffs. So
that hurt. That was their chance to make a statement against the big dogs, and they rolled over and died.
Yeah.
Speaking of rolling over and dying.
This was the rolling over and dying game.
I didn't bother watching, so I can only comment on what I've seen and heard. I know it came down to the end. It was a game-winning field goal by Nick Folk, the former Jet.
Yeah, that says it all. When you can't get field goals for the Jets, but
what this does prove is the division game thing. Again, no matter how bad one team is or both teams are, it was a bloodbath. I mean, they got into a fist fight, and the Jets kept it close for the first time all year. The Jets were really, really in a position to win a game.
Yes, they were.
So,
and I remember saying during the pick, I didn't pick them, but I remember saying if the Jets are going to win, this would probably be their best chance to win. It almost was. I was impressed. I mean, Flacco, geez, over 300 yards. I mean, the Patriots defense is a mess. They can't stop anybody.
They have like what 6 guys that opted out.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's just,
but at least Belichick got to stop the bleeding for the week, and it was he stopped the bleeding, got a win, and watched Tom Brady just get his ass beat up. So I'm sure there was a little wry grin on Bill's face after that. So
yeah,
but the Jets are still 1 game ahead of Jacksonville for Trevor Lawrence.
Yep, right. That race is still on.
The race is still on. So any final thoughts before we sign off on our Week 9 recap?
Just NFL, keep it coming. I don't care if I get half or most of my picks wrong. These are awesome games. Some that go right down the wire and some that are just total shockers. But keep it going. It's like better than any kind of like TV show, fictional show. It's like this is real entertainment.
It really is. Well, that's what I always liked about sports is it's good guys against bad guys in your mind anyway. You pick a bad guy, right? But you don't know how the end's going to turn out. It's an open-ended story, unlike something a lot of movies you've seen it before. So. Yeah,
and I'm very excited about I'm sure this happens every year, but it seems like this year is a lot more the crop of the young arms that are not. Hopefully, will keep this league exciting for the next 10, 15 years. You got Herbert and Tua, and who's the Cincinnati? I forgot Cincinnati kid. Burrow.
Right.
All these young guys. This is going to be great.
Yeah. Not Baker Mayfield though.
Baker Mayfield. Yep.
No.
I'm missing quite. I know I'm missing something.
No. I was joking about Baker. I don't think he's going to be around very long. He's going to be a backup.
I guess we know. Yeah.
I don't think he's starter material. I like him. I do, but
Kyler Murray is what.
Kyler Murray. Yeah. And then you have guys like Bridgewater who came back.
Yep.
There's some good stories.
They're still young. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's wrap this puppy up. Don't forget to wait a minute. I got to go over here. Follow us on the socials: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Also, our website. You can get to anything there, and you can see a lot of these videos there. Oh, that reminds me. I got to put some up. It's been a week. So, I forgot to update our records, Edson. I'll do it right now live.
What?
So let's see. I went 8-5, so I am now.
At least it's easy to calculate. If you went 8-5, I only went.
Yes, I'm now 13-13 overall, and you went what 9-4? Oh my God! So this is problematic. So
all right,
13-13. You're 19-8.
It's 2 lucky weeks. We'll don't worry. It'll
a 5-game lead on me with 7 weeks to go.
That is kind of unfair that we didn't start at the beginning. Yeah, because that's half the season. Yep.
Yeah, but we didn't have GeekTime TV at the beginning of the season.
I know. So helps me out.
I'll catch you this week.
I'm gonna have one of these 2-12.
What I might have to do this week is after you pick, I got to pick the opposite. It's the only way I'm going to gain any ground. Whether I believe in it or not, I got to do it.
Hey, you're probably going to get a few wins because you always get the unexpected. So
you never know. If I did that this week, I would have had I would have bombed. So, all right. All right. So we will catch you guys later. We're going to do our AFC report card. And we also have our Week 10 picks coming this weekend. Another busy weekend of football shows to do. So,
it's crazy. It's crazy and good.
It is crazy and it's good.
If you like this video, please subscribe. To the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?